We're with the mothers of the new kids on the block right now. We were talking about the size of the McIntyre family. You said nine children. How many?
I have 6 children.
You have
2
6?
daughters and 4 sons.
And where does he fit in?
There's just 2.
Jordan, the last 2.
Oh, that's right, the 2.
The last 2 children.
Right.
Jonathan and then Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not twins.
No, they're not.
No.
What's the age distinction?
18 months in between.
Alma?
I have 9.
You have
6
9
boys
children.
and 3 girls.
Wow. And Kay has 8?
I can't believe this.
9.
I have 6.
You have 6? What's going on up there in Boston?
Something in the air.
Something in the water, something in the apples.
An explosion of talent. That's what's going on.
Well, so there are 30 children between you.
Yes,
Who gave you the
absolutely.
product? Who came up with the name of the Posse 30?
The boys did. I think Donnie and Danny, maybe, or whatever, the
Well,
boys.
are you guys, are you lady celebrities in your neighborhood? In the city?
Yeah, we're sort of mini
kind of.
celebrities. We're recognized, and
It's difficult for us to go shopping as well.
What do the girls want to know from you?
If the boys have girlfriends, and this summer we were on tour quite a bit, and I met more daughters-in-law.
Oh, you should.
Future daughters-in-law.
God told them
that
they're going to
I
marry.
absolutely did not know there were that many daughters-in-law out there.
What do you think is the best piece of advice you've ever given your son?
to be the best that he can be, to be true to himself.
Mm-hmm. Now, were they friends when they were growing up?
Schoolmates.
Yeah.
Do you remember
They went
the
to
first
same
time
school.
they started singing? Were you around them when they...
Oh, yes.
Joseph wasn't. We live in a different part of Boston, and he was 12. So they had those 4 boys, and needed a little boy, like a Michael Jackson.
Or Donny
So
Osmond.
they came over to make a plane, and I thought, his father will never let him do this. But he did. And I used to think, I know they're giving him a hard time, but he never told me till I read that book. Then I went out looking for them. Because they did. He was the new kid on the block, and he was 12, and he was a stranger, and it was so tough for Joseph, but he
They
never
worked
told me.
hard to break him in, and it worked, and he became a real vital part of the group very quickly.
Sure.
But Danny and Donnie and Jonathan and Jordan went to school together as little fellas, so they knew each other prior to the formation of the group.
And it was formed by an impresario named Maurice Starr, right?
right.
Now, they've also had a lot of criticism for the fact that Maurice writes their music, and some people say that they lip sync on stage and they don't sing their own music. What do you say to that, Mom?
They do not lip sync. No,
Absolutely.
I have been to one concert after another and heard notes that were not, perfect, right notes. I've heard my son Jordan forget the words to some of the songs. You can hear them talk back and forth to each other. We know that it's not lip syncing.
No, and
I mean,
Donnie's
anyone
put
in the show that goes to the
lines
show
in that
would
don't
know.
even go with the song.
Right, exactly.
I think it was Donnie who said, wait a minute, Frank Sinatra didn't write his own songs either,
Exactly.
playing
Neither
instruments.
did
That's right.
Elvis.
And now they are beginning to write songs, and some of them play instruments. So they're branching out on their own and are on this little vacation that they're on, producing and writing as we speak.
Donnie's trying to produce his younger brother, and he's writing his music.
Well, when the masses love something, the critics want to knock it.
That's right.
Right?
Sure. That's right.
Of course. And you've got to live with all of it.
We've just learned about that kind of stuff. We didn't know about all that.
They're relatively still young fellas, and they're making lots and lots of money.
Obscene amounts of money.
And let's hope, that they're going to have some of that later on. As their mothers, what can you do to help them?
We have the best. Bob Wolf is famous.
Oh, he's
and
their,
he's a wonderful, wonderful man, a down-to-earth, good man. And they have a great office, and you trust or you don't. And
we
trust him.
We trust
and he's taken care of, because Joseph watches his money. For a 17-year-old junior in high school, he really, watches it.
He bought you a mink coat.
Well, yeah, he did that when he was 15. It was really something. And I tell people, I don't drive, so you have to see me on the buses and the streetcars with this mink coat down to my feet,
And they really are very, very good to their siblings. They really take care of everyone. No. Why would there be jealousy?
Everyone's life is
really
better.
benefit by it.
The boys are very, very family-oriented, and they were prior to New Kids on the Block, and they continue to be. And I think that's part of their attraction. They've just taken us all along with them, and we're on this train ride, and we are enjoying it immensely.
But you must have a deep, abiding fear also. What would be your greatest fear about the whole thing?
My fear is for their safety, really. And when you brought up the negative press, when I was having my makeup put on this morning, I was listening to the two of you, and I've seen you on before, of course, you know, when you opened the show, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if the press treated our boys the way you rag on him, and we could have fun doing it. It would be so much
What's
fun.
so fun about that? Who said it was fun every morning getting my brains beat out?
Because it's done in love and there's an affection
right,
behind
and
it.
it's a back and a forth,
Yeah.
you know, it
Right, like
would be
family.
fun.
So,
Exactly.
so what are you going to tell the guys, you know, after the show? Are you going to tell them that...
To learn how to rag on you.
enough of that.
You know, I just watched a video. We videoed when the boys were on the show, and
Yeah.
I just watched it the other day. And they said, you know, how they'd had so much fun, and we watched you two trying to dance.
My daughter interviewed them
Yes,
at the toy
toy
factory.
factory. Yes,
And I didn't like the way they were looking at her.
Well, that's a twist.
Very attractive.
How old is she?
She's 17.
She was very attractive.
And Irish Catholic and adorable.
Keep those guys away from her. It's not like I got Gilman looking at her.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we wish you the very best. Now, this is our story. This
The
is
official.
That is really, seriously, that's, I don't tout all the stuff, but they wrote this themselves, and they really didn't want to. And I remember when I conceived Joseph, he was going to be Christopher. So he opens that up with, my name should have been Christopher. Of course, the father came into the hospital and said, I don't know any Christophers, his name is Joseph. And being one of those 19, 50, 40-year-old women at the time, I let him do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be Chris now, wouldn't it be? Chris McIntyre. But that's a really nice book.
Yeah,
That's
but we should
really
send
from
this
their
to
heart.
Shani, shouldn't we?
Shani has had that since the day it came
gonna
out.
love it.
But she'd love to have it signed. I know you're sick of having to do that. But
Ladies,
We
thank
will
you
do it.
very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Good luck to all of you. The mothers of the new kids on the block.